I'm putting this hat on today because my hair isn't very good, but I need to film this so that I can move on with my life. So we're all gonna...
Beautiful.
Hello, lovers of the world. This is Cinta speaking. I love Agatha Christie books. She is the biggest reason why this channel hasn't completely descended into becoming into primarily a music reviewing channel, because I just can't hold my love for Agatha Christie books inside. I have to share it. So depending on when this video comes out, this may or may not be the first video that comes out since I have arrived from my really long trip to Europe. Thank you everyone for being really patient with my lack of posting, but I'm back now. I have a couple of videos that are about music, but a lot of videos are about the trip. And of course, given that I went to England, the birthplace of Agatha Christie, it was inevitable that I ended up doing a lot of Agatha Christie stuff and finding a lot of Agatha Christie things. It was a paradise for me. It was a treasure trove. I couldn't believe how readily available Agatha Christie things were. I couldn't have been prepared for something like that. So I say that because a lot of my book collections are secondhand. I don't really like to buy books firsthand. They just tend to be cheaper if I find them secondhand, either at a thrift store or a secondhand bookstore. So even though you can easily find Agatha Christie books anywhere, really, I really prefer to go on a hunt for them, and it feels way more satisfying to me as a collector when I find them completely by accident or serendipity, destiny, fate, whatever. And I take a lot of pride in the fact that majority of my collection has been carefully curated and carefully searched for. So obviously I'm gonna have to do a haul video for you guys of all the things, all the Agatha Christie things that I bought while I was in England. And I love buying, I think I've mentioned this in a couple of vlogs before, but I love buying books from cities because they kind of act as souvenirs, and I really tie a lot of memory to like finding that particular item at that particular store, at a particular city, at a particular country. So I'm going to explain how I came across these items as I find them. And I will also include some photos of like the actual trip. So first store that we're going to visit is a place called Dorothy House Bookshop. So it's an op shop situation, and this was in Bath. When it comes to pronouncing places in England, I have to put on a British accent to make it sound right. So Bath. I would usually pronounce it as Bath, but it's Bath. These were the items I found at the Dorothy House Bookshop. So I found this really awesome cassette tape for the murder of Roger Ackroyd, and I picked this up because it's such a really amazing like book. And I do have a cassette tape player, but it's kind of old. We bought it secondhand, and it's, you know, it could be better, like the quality when you play it. And now that I've bought a few more of these cassette tapes, I'm actually really thinking about buying a brand new one, because the one that I have is, you can only listen, it's like a Walkman, like you can only listen to it with headphones on, and I would like to have a player that can play out loud so that I can do things around my room while I listen to the cassette tape. And then the other thing I bought, so I love this store so much because they had so many. I'm gonna put up a picture, like I had to take a picture of how many stuff they had because I couldn't believe my eyes. And I really had to be very selective because when I bought these items, it was a little bit earlier in my trip, and I didn't want to go too crazy with buying books. Like I was really terrified of going over the weight limit for my luggage, even though there were so many like amazing like finds that if I was living in New Zealand I probably would have bought way more. I decided to be very selective. The other thing that I bought though was, of course, another copy of Death on the Nile. I love this book so much. Like I've been trying to reread it actually. All of my copies of Death on the Nile have different covers, and I have one that was a different movie poster for the 1970 film, but this one is another different like movie poster that I find really interesting. And then in the back, it's got the rest of the cast. I also really prefer paperbacks. They're just a little bit more compact, and I really like the size of these ones. They just fit in my bookshelf a little bit easier. And obviously it was a lot more reassuring to bring these over because I was like, they're not gonna weigh that much when they're in my suitcase. So yeah, these two things. This one was, by the way, this was £2.50, and then this one is £2.50 as well. Oh my god, can you believe that? Can you? This Agatha Christie audiobook is read by Nigel Anthony. Just a FYI. And then same place in Bath, but it's this store called Scoobs. So I overheard the gentleman running it that they have two locations, one in London and one in Bath. So Scoobs, Skoobs, which is books backwards, which I thought was like really funny. And I really wanted to go to the London store, but I couldn't find the time to go. But the Scoobs is located inside a covered market, which I quickly found out is very popular all over England. It's just like a market that's like inside a building. It's really cool. And this is the thing I got. Cards on the table. It's actually such a cool cover as well, right? Again, beautiful, compact. I love these Fontana covers. They just give off that such like a really unique vintage feel. Like all of the ones that are released in this line, they all look so cohesive when you put them right next to each other and stuff. Speaking of which, the next one I'm about to show you is also a Fontana book. It's Third Act Tragedy in the British Heart Foundation. So that's another op shop in Oxford. And this was completely serendipitous because I was just walking around the streets of Oxford and I found the British Heart Foundation. I didn't even know that it was there. And then this was just like waiting for me. And obviously I bought it. It's £2. Amazing. Funnily enough, I actually do still have a like review of Third Act Tragedy, 3-Act Tragedy in my drafts. Like it's sitting there, like I need to film the video first, but it's been sitting in my computer for so long that it actually would be nice to just reread the thing again and see if there's any additional notes I could add to it before I record the video and like publish it. So yeah, again, same thing. Like I love these Fontana covers. Like they just look so cool. Like I really like them. Cover painting by Tom Adams. Thank you, Tom Adams. You are a slayer. So this one is from Taunton. Taunton. I put the receipt inside so that I would always remember the name of the store. It's called a Mind, an op shop called Mind. This audiobook is read out by Hugh Fraser, which is like, he's really perfect for these ones. He's a really good narrator. He's really good. This is why I wanted a cassette tape player, because I haven't read After the Funeral yet. I have seen the Poirot episode, and I remember thinking that it was one of the best episodes, or one of the better episodes I saw of the series. Like, there were elements of it that you could tell were heavily modernized for a modern audience. Like, they made it a little bit more salacious and scandalous. Like, I think they made it so that two of the cousins were having an affair, and then there was a lady who was like thinking about having an abortion. It was like, I don't think these were in the book, but how would I know? I haven't read it yet. But the ending of this is like really good. Like, I think the mystery of this is like one of the best ones, but I haven't read it yet. The fact that I have a physical copy of it, but I can't listen to it because I don't have a functioning, like a well functioning cassette tape player, is annoying me. So, but I am very blessed to have this. And FYI, like, there's already scratches of it that was already there when I bought them. So, well, clearly like a well-loved thing. This was £2 as well. Like, this is so great. Like, amazing stuff. These two last remaining books, sadly, I found at Bristol. This is a bookstore called The Second Page. This was the best place I've ever seen, ever. Like, I love this bookstore so much. They knew like their audience, because I'll show you a picture. Their display up at the front was the Agatha Christie crime collection. And like I was desperately looking for the store. Like I begged my parents at the time to be like, can we please go to this? Like it will only take a second. So, and it was a struggle to find it because like it was inside the mall but it was also on the second floor, and I was just like sweating and like trying to find it. We were carrying our bags, and then I found this and I see the Agatha Christie crime collection display, and I said, this was so fucking worth it. Like I'm so glad that I persevered because this was a treasure trove. So not only did they have this like awesome display of Agatha Christie stuff, they also had a couple of other stuff really, and I was like tempted to buy this other one because I couldn't decide on whether or not I wanted to buy one of the Agatha Christie crime collection books because I thought this was economic to have 3 books in one, right? And these were all books that I really liked, and this was £10, like £2.50 per book, and it's a hardcover, so it's like it'll last longer ideally. The books inside this book is Appointment with Death, which if you know is like my absolute favorite, like one of my absolute favorite Agatha Christie books ever. And then they also have Sad Cypress, which is a personal favorite of mine. I don't think that a lot of people love Sad Cypress as much as I do, but I just find the characters there so compelling and I really want to reread it. So I think this will give me an opportunity to, like, Appointment with Death, like I've read so many times, like, and this will just make rereading the same book so much easier because now I have my own copy. And then actually in the middle, this one I haven't read in a long time. It's Crooked House, and it's a standalone, and I have actually read it before. And I remember the ending, the killer, very clearly because I remember being quite like surprised by it. And I also watched the miniseries that the BBC released. That was really good. It was pretty faithful to the source material while keeping it quite modern. I actually made a video about that, so you should watch it. It's one of my older videos, so it'll be quite amateurish, but I'll link it up in the top. I think it'll be cool to reread this, and then who knows, maybe I'll rewatch the miniseries again. This is cool. I was only just gonna buy this book. There was another book I wanted to buy. There's a couple of books that I took myself out of buying that sometimes I still think about, but I think I just have to let that go. Like, for example, when I was at Oxford, there was a copy of Lord Edgware Dies. The other book at second page that I thought I should have bought was A Murder is Announced. Really beautiful copy. It was one of those facsimile ones. It's another situation where I remember seeing the BBC episode and being really impressed with the ending and being really sad for the characters and stuff, but I haven't read the actual book myself. So as I was taking this up to the counter, we were talking to the owner, and I was like, yeah, I love Agatha Christie, like she's like my favorite author ever. And he was like, well, you know, like we have more Agatha Christie's in the back, would you like to see them? And I'm like, would I ever? So he leads us to the back of the store, and I find like an entire, like 2 bookshelves full of Agatha Christie paperbacks, and I'm really kicking myself because we couldn't stay for too long. This is the best place I've ever been to, and I was like thinking, like seriously, like when I come home, like maybe I can ask him to mail some to me but it's the shipping that's gonna kill me. But this is the book from the back that I ended up getting. Yep, it's Death on the Nile again. But this time it's the Fontana. The cover, I still kept it in the plastic sleeve because so look at this. Isn't this the best? So now I think I have like 5 copies of Death on the Nile, and I also have the DVD of the film. Yes. I love Death on the Nile. If I had known that there were more in the back, I probably would have made decisions differently, because I was thinking to myself, like, would I have just bought these 3 books, Appointment with Death, Crooked House, and Sad Cypress, these 3 books, but like separate paperbacks? I still think I would have done that if the cover was better. But I'm trying to let go of that, because at the end of the day, I have a copy of all of the books that I love. This was really cheap. This was economic. It's a hardcover, and nothing is stopping me from buying more copies of those if I come across it in the future. You know what I mean? I think I just made the decision that was best at the time, like especially given that I didn't really have a lot of time to think. But like, yes, I really still think about that bookstore to this day. Like, it's been a month since I arrived and I'm still thinking about that place and how many Agatha Christie books there are there just waiting for me. Like, you guys belong to my collection. Yeah, so that's my all of the Agatha Christie books that I bought while I was in England. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but I really tried to. Again, I really held myself back a lot of times. Like, it's not for lack of finding stuff, right? I have so many copies of Death on the Nile now that I actually suggested to my friends, like, if they ever wanted to start a book club for this particular book, I have enough copies for all of us to like read it and stuff. So yeah, I would love to do another video fully explaining all of my Agatha Christie books, because this whole thing over here, like that stack of books that you see behind me next to the little monkey guy, that's all of my Agatha Christie stuff, and I would love to brag about the stuff that I have. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you love Agatha Christie, feel free to subscribe. I actually have 2 more videos that I need to do. So one of them is I went to see The Mousetrap. Yes, the famous Mousetrap. Yes, like the play. Yes. I saw that. I need to edit it first, because last minute kind of video where I just talk about what I thought about seeing it in person, like the Mousetrap. So amazing. And then I have another video where I watched Witness for Prosecution. Whoa, like that's crazy. If you love Agatha Christie and you want to see what I thought about those 2 plays, give me a follow. And if you want to hear what I think about music, that would also, you can also follow me for that. I can't wait to share my love with you again next time. I will see you then.